Good evening. We delve into a decision that is sending seismic shockwaves across the globe. A move that fundamentally reconfigures America's role in global health and potentially leaves us all more vulnerable. The United States has officially severed ties with the World Health Organization, a development so profound, unprecedented in its implications, that it demands our immediate and thorough scrutiny.
This isn't just a bureaucratic maneuver. It is a profound rupture in the fabric of international cooperation, a deliberate sundering of a partnership forged in the ashes of World War II, dedicated to protecting the health of every man, woman, and child on this planet. And as our NBC News headline starkly puts it, this withdrawal raises grave concerns, particularly about our collective ability to confront the evolving threat of flu epidemics.
We're talking about an enemy no borders, respects no sovereignty, and without coordinated global defenses can bring economies to their knees and claim countless lives. The question if another major flu outbreak will occur, but when. And as that specter looms, the United States has chosen this moment to walk from the very institution designed to help us face it. Tonight, we ask, what does this mean for our national security, for our public health, and for the future of global well-being? This isn't just news, it's a turning point.
To truly grasp the magnitude of this decision, we must first understand the landscape we've suddenly departed. The World Health Organization, or WHO, was established in 1998, a beacon of hope emerging from the devastation of World War II. Its foundational principle, yet ambitious, the attainment by all peoples of the highest possible level of health. For over 7 decades, the United States has been not just a member, but arguably the most influential and certainly the largest to this vital global body.
We were there at its birth, providing the intellectual leadership and financial muscle to build an infrastructure of global health that was by many measures unparalleled. The WHO's mandate is vast, encompassing everything from eradicating smallpox, one of humanity's greatest achievements in public health, to improving maternal and child, combating HIV/AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis. But central to its mission, relevant to our discussion tonight, is its role as the world's primary coordinator for infectious disease surveillance and response.
Think of it as the central nervous system for global health intelligence, constantly monitoring for outbreaks, identifying new pathogens, and facilitating the rapid sharing of critical data among nations. For flu epidemics specifically, has been indispensable. It operates the Global Influence and Response System, or GISRS, a network of national influenza centers and collaborating centers worldwide. This system collects influenza viruses circulating in humans and animals, analyzes them, and uses that data to inform the twice-yearly recommendations for seasonal flu vaccine composition. This scientific collaboration ensures that vaccine manufacturers here in the U.S. have the most current information to produce vaccines that are effective against the strains most likely to circulate in the coming flu season. It's a marvel of international scientific cooperation designed to protect billions. Years, the relationship between the U.S.
and the WHO has seen its share of complexities, as any long-standing partnership does. There have been moments of intense collaboration, like during the H1N1 swine flu pandemic in 2009, when the WHO played a critical role in coordinating the global response, monitoring the spread, and facilitating vaccine development and distribution. And there have been periods of friction, typically around issues of resource allocation, bureaucratic efficiency, or specific policy decisions.
However, these tensions, while sometimes significant, have always been navigated within the framework of continued and engagement. The notion of a complete withdrawal, particularly from an organization so deeply integrated into our national and global health security, was until recently almost unthinkable. The current administration, however, has voiced increased regarding the value of multilateral institutions and has been explicit in its criticisms of the WHO.
While the official impetus for this withdrawal has been framed around specific accusations concerning the handling of a recent global health crisis, which, for the purpose of our discussion on flu epidemics, we will address as a general dissatisfaction with the WHO's perceived efficacy and transparency. The roots of this decision likely run deeper, touching upon broader geopolitical strategies and a re-evaluation of America's commitment to international agreements.
This didn't happen overnight. It is the culmination of escalating rhetoric, mounting frustrations, and ultimately a unilateral decision to chart a new course, one that by its very nature isolates the U.S. from the collective global effort against infectious diseases, most notably Now, let's dive deeper into the nuts and bolts of what this withdrawal is, particularly concerning our preparedness for the next inevitable flu epidemic. The expertise and infrastructure the WHO provides in this domain are not easily replicated, nor can they be simply ignored. Consider the sheer scale of the threat. Seasonal influenza alone claims hundreds of thousands of lives globally each year, and periodically, novel strains emerge that have the potential for truly catastrophic pandemics, as history has repeatedly shown us, from the 1918 Spanish flu to the H1N1 outbreak in 2009. At the heart of global flu preparedness is data, real-time, comprehensive data sharing. The WHO acts as the central and analytical hub for this information. Imagine a global early warning system with thousands of sensors scattered across every continent, constantly sniffing out new viral threats. What the WHO's GISRS system is. National influenza centers in nearly 120 countries from patients isolate and characterize the circulating flu viruses. They then share these samples and genetic sequences with the 5 WHO collaborating centers for research on influenza, which include labs in Atlanta, London, Melbourne, Beijing, and Tokyo.
Our own Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, hosts one of the critical WHO collaborating centers right here in the US, a testament to our historical integration into this system. Meticulous, transnational effort allows the global scientific community to track viral evolution, identify emerging strains with pandemic potential, assess their transmissibility and severity. Twice a year, leading experts convene under WHO auspices to review this data and make recommendations for the composition of the next season's flu vaccines. This is a consensus, evidence-based process that ensures vaccine development is effective. So what happens when the US, a cornerstone of this system, steps away? The implications are stark and multifaceted. Firstly, there's the immediate concern of information asymmetry and reduced situational awareness. Amelia Rossi, a seasoned epidemiologist with decades of experience tracking zoonotic diseases, told us in a simulated interview, this decision effectively blinding threats overseas. If a novel influenza strain begins to circulate in a remote corner of the world, say in Southeast Asia, our ability to detailed intelligence on that strain, to understand its characteristics, and to assess its potential threat will be severely hampered. We might eventually get the information, but valuable weeks or months could be lost. In a pandemic, time is lives. Without direct participation in the sharing protocols, the U.S. risks delays in receiving crucial alerts and insights, potentially leaving our public health agencies playing catch-up. Secondly, the withdrawal impacts vaccine development and equity.
The WHO's recommendations are critical for manufacturers worldwide, including those supplying the US market. While the CDC has its own robust influenza surveillance system, it has historically benefited immensely from global perspective provided by the WHO. The US withdrawal could complicate our access to the diverse array of viral samples from around the world that are essential for developing a truly effective and globally relevant vaccine. Furthermore, the WHO plays a vital role in ensuring vaccine access for lower-income countries, often facilitating donations and coordinating distribution. If the US disengages, our contribution to this global equity effort diminishes, potentially creating breeding grounds for new variants that could eventually reach our shores. Thirdly, confusion of international norms and trust. When the US, as a global leader, withdraws from such a critical institution, it sends a clear message about our commitment to multilateralism. As Dr. Kenji Tanaka, an expert in international relations, commented in a simulated discussion, from multilateralism, leaving a vacuum for other powers and fragmenting global efforts. Health security is inherently a collective good. No single nation, however powerful, can insulate it entirely from global health threats. When the world fragments, everyone becomes less secure, including the United States. This withdrawal could weaken the WHO as an institution, making it less effective for the remaining member states, and potentially encouraging other nations to prioritize national interests over global cooperation during future health crises. Critics of the WHO often point to its perceived inefficiencies or political vulnerabilities. These criticisms are not entirely without merit, and calls for reform within the organization have been persistent. However, proponents of engagement argue that withdrawing is akin to abandoning the ship because it has a few leaks, rather than staying aboard, steer it, and patch those leaks. Our ability to influence the WHO for reforms and to ensure its priorities align with our own national interests was far greater when we were an active member at the table, leading the charge. Our voice in shaping global health policy and flu preparedness has been significantly diminished. The question then becomes, can the US go it alone?
Can we build a parallel that provides the same level of global intelligence, coordination, and rapid response that the WHO currently offers? Some argue for a bilateral approach, forging direct partnerships with key countries for data sharing. While this might work for a select few nations, it's inefficient and difficult to scale to the global level required for comprehensive flu surveillance. It creates a patchwork system, leaving vast blind spots in crucial regions. As one simulated public health official observed, without a unified global front, localized outbreaks can quickly become global pandemics. This isn't just about protecting American borders. It's about identifying the fire before it becomes an inferno anywhere in the world. The immense resources, trust, and historical relationships that underpin the WHO's global network took decades to build. They cannot be replicated overnight. Finally, there's the financial aspect. The US contribution was substantial, representing a significant portion of the WHO's annual budget. While the administration may argue that this funding can now be redirected to domestic health initiatives, the reality is that the global impact of this funding cut will be profound. Programs in developing nations, crucial for building local health infrastructure and surveillance capabilities, which in turn from emergent diseases, will suffer. This is not merely an act of disengagement. It is an act that fundamentally reshapes the global health landscape, leaving both the US and the world in a more precarious position to face the next influenza pandemic. The implications of this stretch far beyond the immediate concerns of flu epidemics, touching upon every aspect of our lives, our health,
our economy, and our standing in the intricate web of international relations. Let's start with the most direct impact: public health implications for Americans. Full benefit of the WHO's global surveillance network, particularly for influenza, the U.S. early warning system. Imagine a new, highly virulent flu strain emerging in a densely populated region across the Pacific or in sub-Saharan Africa.
Historically, the WHO would be central in identifying that strain, character, and alerting the world. While the CDC is world-class, its global reach is enhanced, not replaced, by the WHO network. Delays in receiving crucial data on novel strains could mean delays in adapting our own vaccine development, implementing travel restrictions, or in preparing our healthcare system for an influx of patients.
For American citizens, this means potentially less effective flu vaccine, increased exposure risk, and a slower, less coordinated domestic response to an imported threat. As Dr. Rossi emphasized, every day lost in understanding a new pathogen translates directly into more cases, more hospitalizations, and more deaths. This is not an abstract concept. It's about real people in American communities. Beyond the direct threat of flu, the withdrawal impacts global health security more broadly. The U.S. has long been a champion of disease eradication and control worldwide. By stepping back from the WHO, we diminish our capacity to support these efforts in other nations. When health systems end, when infectious diseases are left unchecked in other parts of the world, those problems don't stay localized. They eventually become global problems, posing a direct threat to American public health, often at much higher cost than preventative. Next, consider the economic implications. A major flu pandemic, especially one involving a novel strain, doesn't just impact health, it devastates economies. The 2009 H1N1 pandemic, though mild to historical outbreaks, still caused significant economic. A more severe pandemic, made more likely by a fragmented global response, could halt international trade and travel, collapse tourism industries, and severely strain supply chains for everything from electronics to essential medicines. The pharmaceutical industry, deeply reliant on global collaboration for vaccine development and distribution, could face significant hurdles without a central coordinating body. Research funding, often international grants and collaborations, could also be impacted. The costs of a robust domestic defense against global pathogens, without the efficiencies and intelligence provided by the WHO, are astronomical. Building parallel systems for surveillance, data sharing, and even vaccine distribution worldwide would require an investment far exceeding our current contributions to the WHO, and without the established trust and infrastructure, it would likely be less effective. The economic stability of the U.S. is inextricably linked to global health stability. Severing ties with the WHO is a gamble that puts both at risk. Finally, we must address the political and diplomatic ramifications. This withdrawal is not just a health policy decision, it is a foreign policy statement. It signals a retreat from multi-engagement and further erodes America's standing as a leader in global health. For decades, the U.S. has used its influence within organizations like WHO to advance its strategic interests, promote democratic values, and build alliances.
By leaving, Dr. Tanaka pointed out, this creates a diplomatic vacuum. Our allies, who rely on the WHO for their own health security and for global coordination, are left bewildered and concerned. It forces them to question the reliability of the U.S. as a partner and may push them to seek leadership and cooperation elsewhere, potentially from rival powers. This withdrawal could empower nations with differing values and agendas to step into the void, shaping global health policy in ways that may not align with American interests or values.
Domestically, this decision is also deeply polarizing. fuels a debate about isolationism versus global engagement, about the balance between national sovereignty and international cooperation. While some support the move, assertion of American independence and a rejection of perceived international bureaucracy, many view it as a dangerous abdication of global leadership and an inflicted wound to our own long-term security. The political fallout could be significant, both in terms of bipartisan cooperation on future health crises and in shaping the narrative around America's role in the world. The image of the U.S. during a global health crisis, opting to stand alone, could have lasting implications for our diplomatic relations for years to come. So where does this lead? The U.S. withdrawal from the World Health Organization is a decision of monumental proportions, reverberating across the critical domains of public health, economic stability, and international diplomacy. Tonight, we've explored the long-standing, indispensable role the WHO has played in global health, particularly in coordinating our collective defense against flu epidemics. Meticulously detailed how that intricate, interconnected system, built over 7 decades, is now fractured by America's departure. The potential consequences are stark: a weakened global early warning system, reduced capacity for of emerging flu strains, compromised vaccine development efforts, and a profound erosion of trust and cooperation among nations. For American citizens, this could translate directly into heightened vulnerability to future pandemics, a less prepared healthcare system, and a slower, more costly response to an inevitable threat that recognizes no borders. Economically, the decision to go it alone could lead to significant disruptions in trade and travel, jeopardizing global supply chains and potentially costing far in the long run than our previous contributions to global health security. It represents a retreat from multilateralism, damaging our credibility on the world stage and potentially empowering rivals to fill the leadership vacuum we've. This isn't merely a shift in policy. It's a fundamental revision of America's engagement with the world's most pressing health challenges. While frustrations with international organizations are understandable and calls for reform often legitimate, the question remains whether this is the most effective strategy when facing truly global threats. When it comes to something as universal and relentless as influenza, a disease that has historically reshaped the stakes are simply too high for anything less than a coordinated, united front. The path ahead is uncertain, fraught with new risks and challenges. The long-term implications of this decision will undoubtedly unfold for years, perhaps even decades to come. One thing is clear: as the world navigates the turbulent waters of future health crises, the United States will now be charting a course largely on its own, leaving many to wonder if we've traded the strength of collective action for the perilous illusion of isolated security. I'm your name. Thank you for joining us for this special report. Good night.